Love that it's gonna be like multicolored. So I'm just gonna make a well there, and I'm gonna add some more. Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be making a cranberry coconut scone. I love cranberries and I love coconuts, and together they're awesome. So I'm gonna give you a step-by-step what I do, what I use, and the finished look. Okay, so as you can see, I scaled all my ingredients like I do with all my recipes. So I'm just gonna give you a rundown of what I have today. I have my flour, my baking soda, and my baking powder and salt here. I have my butter. I have my sugar. I have my coconuts. I have my cranberries. Now these are frozen cranberries, and I'm gonna cut them in half just like this, just to show you before we put them in the scone. I have my milk, and I have my egg. So now I am going to show you the entire process from start to finish, how I make this cranberry coconut scone. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is we are going to sift all our dry ingredients together, which means the flour, the baking powder, the baking soda, and the salt, along with the sugar. It's dry, so why not? So we're just gonna sift it into one big bowl. Then what we're gonna do is we are going to add the butter to the sifted dry ingredients. So you break it up like this. Now, the thing about this is room temperature butter is better. I took my butter out for a long time, so it is so much softer than what I'm used to. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to break the butter up with the dry ingredients, and we're gonna create a coarse meal. We're gonna do this before we add our eggs and our milk. So we're just gonna do this for a bit until we achieve the look we are going for. Okay, what I wanted to show you was I decided I was going to toast my coconuts just because it's just added flavor. So I'm just gonna put it on a baking tray, and I'm gonna pop it in the oven. My oven's already on and it was set at 350. So I'm just gonna pop this in until I get a nice color that I'm looking for, and then we'll take it out. Once our mixture is ready, I'll add it when I add my cranberries. So this is gonna take about 5 to 10 minutes, maybe less, depending on how your oven is. Okay, so we have the frozen cranberries. This is how much I'm using. I'm gonna cut it in half only because I want to see the exposed cranberry. This is what it looks like. So we're just gonna cut them in half while our coconuts are toasting and our butter mixture is waiting. Because once the coconuts are toasted, we will add the liquids to the butter and the flour, and then we will add our coconuts and our cranberries. Once that's done, it's only a matter of time before we bake. So, you know, just grab yourself a cutting board. A little knife like this is fine. You don't have to use anything big. Just slice them. You can also leave them whole if you'd like. I don't want them whole, so. And they're so juicy. If you leave them whole, I suggest you add a little more than the quantity that I use, only because I like when my scones have a good amount of whatever it is. If it's chocolate, I wanna taste the chocolate. So because this is cranberry, I definitely want cranberry chunks in my scone. I just wanted to show you our coconut. This is done for me, so I'm just gonna switch it around just a bit. It was in there for less than 5 minutes. This is the color that you want to achieve, and you set it aside and let it cool so that once you're ready to add it to your batter, it'll be fine. There you go. Okay, so our flour is ready, the flour and butter. This is what your mixture will look like. You will have butter chunks like this, just so you see, which is good because, to be honest with you, it will make for a nice tasting scone. It will be so buttery and somewhat flaky, not hard and tough. But this is what you're going to have to work with, which is great. So what's going to happen is now I am going to add my liquids together, which are my milk and my eggs. Now, this is the stage where you add your flavor in. So whatever flavor you want to add, you put it in. I'm just going to whip this up just a little bit. And I'm going to add it into the milk. Mix it. Now this stage is a little messy. If you choose to wear gloves, that is fine. I am okay. My hands were clean and sanitized. I am going to add my liquids to my mixture. And I'm just going to make a well, which is going to be easier for you. Just make a little hole, pour it in. And what I like to do is I cup my hand like this and I go around like this. It's kind of like you're kneading bread if you're making bread by hand, but this way it ensures that you don't overmix your dough, because we don't want a tough scone. We want it to be nice and light, and if you do it this way, that's guaranteed. So as you can see, the dough is already coming together, which is fine. Now, if you are not able to make it come together, you may need to add a little more water, which is fine. I am going to add my coconuts that I toasted. Just gonna get it, just gonna add it. And we're gonna just mix it around just so that it's incorporated. I love the smell of toasted coconuts. This is gonna be such a great smelling scone. I love it. So you have it like this. And now what's going to happen is I'm just going to break it up just a little bit, just so that once I incorporate my cranberries, they're evenly distributed. Because I don't want too many in one scone. I want it to just be all over the place. It might change color because obviously cranberries are red. So we're just going to add, just going to scatter them like this. I'm going to mix like that. I didn't add all yet, so I'm just gonna make sure things are, see, like there's chunks here, so I just want to make sure things are just evenly distributed. I love that it's gonna be like multicolored. So I'm just gonna make a well there, and I'm gonna add some more. What you can do is you can leave a few cranberries out so you can put on top to just decorate your scone. Makes it look prettier. I have extra, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so now our dough is ready, our mixture is ready. This is what you'll have. Everything is fully combined. It looks something like this. You don't overwork the dough because we don't want a tough scone. So now what you're going to do is you are going to flour your work surface just a little bit. And I usually have a cake pan on hand. This for me helps me with the size of how big or how tall I want my scones. This is an 8-inch cake pan. I'm just going to add a little flour into it. And I'm going to put my dough in. While my dough is in, I'm going to press it out. Just until it completely covers the pan. And now what this does for me is it gives me the size of my my scone. So now I'm just going to turn it over on the work surface. This is what we have. Scones aren't meant to be pretty or even. I just like starting with a round base. So here you can stretch it out a bit. You can do whatever you want to do with it, but that's just how I do mine. This is what we have. You can choose to use the cake pan or do it manually. Like I said, scones aren't meant to be even and pretty. They look rustic. I love a rustic looking scone. So now here's the thing. You can either cut this, as in divide it using a knife, or you can use a fancy contraption like this, which is a pie cutter, you know, or cake cutter, whichever one you want to call it. I'm going to use this because it's just a lot easier and it'll make it even enough for me. So what you want to do is you just want to, I think you should flour it just a bit. So I'm just going to, just a little bit, nothing heavy. So now what you're going to do is you are going to place your pie cutter on your dough and you're going to press it down. So this way it ensures that you have even scones. And we're just going to take a knife just to complete it, just to get it over. You can also use a pizza cutter if it's a lot easier for you. I'm just using a knife just to show you. So now our scones are ready to be baked. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your pan prepared. You can either use parchment or you can use a baking mat, which I'm using. So just line your baking tray with a parchment or a baking mat, and then you're going to transfer from your work surface to the tray. So you just simply separate it. This is what your scone is going to look like, just to give you an idea. It's not even in terms of the top doesn't look smooth and even. It has a rustic look and a rustic feel, which I really appreciate. So once it bakes, we'll see how it turns out. So I'm just giving you another look. See? Nice. Our scones are now ready for the oven. So one small thing, before I put these in the oven, I am going to egg wash, which I just created a small little egg wash. I'm going to egg wash them, and then we are going to pop them in the oven. They are going to bake for about 20 minutes. So 15 to 20 minutes, just check it to make sure that, you know, they're done. You want a nice golden color. You don't want something that's burnt. So a golden color is what you're looking for. Once you achieve the color that you want, you can take them out. They should be done. Now, what I will say is you should separate them and make sure that they're not close enough to touch, because when they bake, they do spread a lot. And you don't want your scones sticking to each other. It's just not pretty. So yeah, just egg wash lightly. This is a bit heavy, a tad bit heavy. Do not brush the sides. If you brush the sides, your scones won't rise as much because they are a little restricted because of the egg wash. But you know, just lightly brush the top. Right here. And we bake. Okay, so our scones are finished. I am so excited. I love it. I love what it looks like. I love what it smells like. I just wanted to show you what we have going on here. So this is it. This is our cranberry coconut scones. It's delicious. It's really hot right now. So I'm going to let it cool, but I just wanted to show you up close and personal. This is what it looks like. You have a nice color going. You can leave it in a little longer if you want to, but this color is good enough for me. And I just wanted to show you what it looks like on the inside. It is still hot, but you know, I still wanted to show you. So this is what you have. Once it's cooled, you'll get to see all the different layers and flakes. I love it. I'm actually very happy with this. Obviously, you should not eat this while it's hot. I'm not going to eat it, but I really just wanted to show you what the inside looked like while it was still warm. As you can see, there's steam if you see it, but here you have it. You can eat this as is, or you can finish it by drizzling it with a little glaze if you'd like. I'm gonna leave this as is because I love what it looks like. I love what it smells like. I don't feel like adding anything else. It is not an overly sweet scone. It is buttery. It tastes like coconut and cranberries. It's just, I love it. So this is my coconut cranberry scone. See you next Friday. I just wanted to give you another shot at the scones.